Oh, welcome everybody to the 98th episode of the Party Invite Show. We got all four of us on deck again. These are my favorite weeks when we got the whole squad here. My name is Tegan. Over here we got Chris, Chairman Mao himself.
Yo.
Chris Mowry. Down here we've got Sovereign Sid.
What? Where?
Oh,
Do not perceive me.
and over here we have Vilos.
That's me, and I got a free Sierra Mist from Taco Bell. Yay.
But they're going out of style.
This is dying, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sierra Mist is about to be starry.
Sprite is superior anyway. Sierra Mist tastes like lemon butt.
Okay, we chose violence today? This is Sierra Mist? Is it a tragedy
I'm drinking a whole lot of lemon butt today then. There we go.
Well, Lemon Butt makes the fifth member of our party here today, and all of us are here too. Our purpose is to bring people a little bit closer together each week with video games, those discussions, and, a friendly player experience. So each week, every Thursday night, we have the Party Invite Show, which comes in two parts. First, we've got the podcast, which begins right now, followed by the game stream. Recently, we streamed a bunch of stuff, including Pentiment with our community. Last week, we streamed Spider Heck, which is a wonderful party game that everyone should be talking about it. But this week, we are going to be playing Hi-Fi Rush, a game that was just announced and released yesterday, surprisingly, after the Bethesda Microsoft showcase. So Sav over here will be playing that. Looking forward to that a lot. That'll be a good time. But let's get started with our Blissin' Up, something to put everybody in the good mood. Wow, Odysseus, that is a lot of butts in chat. We're going to let that be saved to the archive because this man showed up prepared. Just like dump trucks, we want to bring a little light into the world. With Blissin' Up, we want to share things gaming and non-gaming that made us smile this week. So I might start with mine. There is a Steam Fest going on right now. This was one of you was just talking about this, Chris, with Steam World something
Build.
Steam World Build.
Yep.
Just released, and alongside it, maybe by coincidence or very much on purpose, there is a Steam base builder sale, which has a bunch of stuff in it. Valheim, Planet Zoo, Age of Empires 2. The sequel to Subnautica, which does exist. I definitely learned that before this week. I definitely knew there was a sequel to that game. Fallout 76, and a good handful of others. Dwarf Fortress. I might throw some more at you later near the end of the podcast. But a whole bunch of base builders. I love those games. In most of the survival team games we play, base building is just about my favorite part. So highly recommend checking that out. Don't sleep on that. This Steam sale is from the 23rd to the 30th, so it's already the 26th tonight. So through, early next week? Early next week we will have all these games on sale, so to go check them out. That's the Steam Base Builder sale. Deadpool, I'm a homemaker? That's right. I love being a homemaker. You guys bring home the bacon and the ant meat, and I'll turn it into something good. But who else? What's next? What made us smile this week?
I'll go. I didn't write anything down on the doc because I'm smart. But something that made me smile was a little something that I purchased.
Ba-da-da-da! I'll hold it up one more time. Deck Family. It's beautimous.
I got the second one. The middle one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's one that only has like 64 gigs, and then there was one that has like 200 and something gigs. That's the one I got.
Wait, so how many versions are there total? A big and a small?
There are 3.
Oh, 3. So it's like the PlayStation Plus, the PlayStation Plus Plus, and the PlayStation Triple Plus. So you got 2 pluses.
So there's the 64 gigabyte one, which is $400, and then there is the 256 gigabyte one, which is $530, and that's the one that Chris has. And then the one that I have is the 512 gigabit one, which is $650.
But you're probably just guessing off the top of your head. You don't sound like you're very well acquainted with that
she's
knowledge.
looking at the Steam page.
Totally, definitely, just encyclopedic knowledge of all technology whatsoever.
It's amazing.
I thought about going for the cheaper one, but then I'm like 64 gigs. It's like there's so many games that just blow that completely out of the water immediately.
Yeah.
So
you could only
and
play
also,
indie games on that.
You get this nice case with it. Nice
looks
carrying
different
case.
than
It's
mine.
very nice.
That looks like my Switch case.
The case is like the same, but the logo on mine has like the blue circle. It's a blue
Oh, it's
circle, but
not
with the white.
just
Yeah, it's a blue circle, but with a white curve.
And what version is yours, Sav?
Mine's the
triple plus?
No, just kidding. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
triple plus.
Hulu's
The
plus live
live
TV.
Was that
plus
you
plus
on your
plus.
like your typewriter, or I mean your like receipt machine?
Yeah. Gotta break out the abacus for it.
That's right. Let me beep beep beep. Oh, according to my calculations, I have the 3 pluses. Really excited for you, Chris. Yeah, we were talking before the show that it can play a lot. There's a lot of stuff that has that checkbox that says "good on deck" on Steam. That means that it's supposed to play well on your Steam Deck. But we play a lot of Game Pass stuff, and while you can play Game Pass games, you have to kind of do a workaround, and that sometimes means hang-ups and stuff. But sooner or later, they will have that official way to play Game Pass, which will be great, even though it's a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I mean, I got friends who use their Steam Decks as their work computer. That's a real thing because it's powerful as long as you know how to get it to do what you need.
And I think it's wild that, like, I'm just so excited for any sort of trip now. Oh, yeah, we could. How long's the flight?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean, you could have not worried about trips with a Nintendo Switch as well. I'm just saying, putting that out there. You still need to get one of those things.
Yeah, but
It's a Switch.
No, I'm with Chris. I'll have a Steam Deck someday, and
How was your Sid? How was your plasticky smell when you opened up the Switch? Because this thing, it has got a plasticky smell that is insane.
it just
You
came.
almost
it
think
just,
something
Like
might
that
be
new
on
system
fire.
smell?
it left the factory like 36 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's fresh from the sea.
Yes. Yeah, it's pungent.
Well, enjoy that nice pungent smell while you got it. Because
New hardware as well.
you don't know what you got till it's gone. Sometimes you just need a pungent. A pungent.
Context is so important.
Anyway,
Sorry, all of our audio listeners, for whatever you're imagining right now.
it's beautiful. We're beautiful people, and we only talk about attractive, exciting things. All right. So, Chris, you played the Steam Deck. Did you mention any of the games you actually played?
No, I did not. But are we jumping into
No,
what we've
you're
been
right.
playing?
I'm just excited. I'm getting out of order here. All right, enough with Chris. Enough with that Steam Deck. We're done talking about that. Quit bringing it up. All right.
Done.
Anyway, Sav, what's up? What you been up to?
So I have the Triple Super Alpha Plus Steam Deck, No.
Right?
No, for my Blizzing Up, I actually have a new project that I'm working on.
Ooh.
And so, as you may have heard, I got the keys to our new apartment. We got our new keys, and we're getting Google Fiber set up and everything. And so that's going to be done by the time we actually finish moving in and all that whatnot. And as much as I love this lovely backup, behind me, my backdrop of all my art and everything and my plushies and stuff, I'm not going to have room for all of that in my new room. Unfortunately, I will be downsizing. So I have a new project, which is to decorate, find a new layout and stuff and inspiration and all that for my new streaming room. And I'm super duper excited.
Heck yeah.
I just ordered some soundproofing panels that are textured and they have different elevations on them and stuff.
That's an
It'll be
upgrade.
real classy. I'm gonna get a plant, maybe. I'm excited.
Oh, dip. I've played Plate Up. You get extra decor for that. You get it's charming when you put a plant in there.
We'll see how charming it is when the cats get into it.
Oh, speaking of which, man, I don't think I've watered the plant in our living room in a month. I hope Lizzie's watered that thing. All right.
Yo, it dead.
Well,
I'm sitting in the living room water would be nice.
it's a Monstera, so it lasts forever. But also, we've had to a couple times stop Kitty from eating it because it is toxic. So if it did die, it'd be sad because they're pretty. But Kitty lives here, not the plant. So yeah, that's exciting. But it's like a big move. Anytime you pick up and move anything. Not the least of which is your stream setup. That's a whole thing. Are you the kind of person who moves in pretty quickly? You make your space actually lived in pretty quickly after you move in, or are you like me, where it doesn't look like you've moved in almost until the time it is to move out?
I like hosting people and having guests and things like that. So I try to make sure pretty quickly that everything's like ship shape before I like consider it really settled in, you know.
That's
Um,
really the smart move. That's really the only move. But some of us aren't so good at making the right move, you know. So I'm excited for you. Yeah, you've had in the past year, you've probably had 3 different setups. You have the current one, you have the side one with your posters and your like sombra plushie pillow.
right.
They were right next to you. And didn't you have another one before that, or am I making that up? Maybe I'm making it up.
Well, I've rearranged my room. Like this one is the latest one, and then before I moved into the master bedroom, which is where I am now, I was in like the office room or whatever, and I rearranged that like twice. So that sounds right.
Okay. Well, that was a very important detail that everyone at home would needed me to ask you. We had several emails. In fact, our email went down because so many people asked me to ask you that. Um, but I'm excited to see you on the other side. It's an exciting change to do that stuff, and it's an opportunity to grow. I will be looking for pictures of those acoustic panels, though. So
Oh, I'm super excited.
yeah, be prepared. All right,
I'll get like a new
Vilos.
desk and everything too.
Do you have anything for the class here?
I mean, in theory, I do have something. It's called this big fucking box. Hold on.
The BFB. Oh.
I don't know if you could say that on. I don't know if you'd say that on Twitch.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let me. Let's get Vilos full screened here. Let's check this out. Oh, baby. No, it's nailing it. It's thick.
So yeah, they might not be able to.
Oh
hear me
my
right
gosh!
now.
Because I.
Can they not hear me at all?
No, they can hear you now. Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry, Vilos, but no, they could not hear you before because I'm stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah, for everybody in chat, this is the Fire Emblem Engage Divine Edition. As you can see, sorry for the blur, but everything behind me is horrible. So um, we've got the back of this here. Inside is a beautiful art book, some art cards, a still book, and the normal game case. But holy shit, worth $100? Yes, it is one of the prettiest things I
Wait,
have.
$100?
Mm-hmm.
You know, $100 editions are my thing.
Yeah, they are.
I think there are still some you can find because Nintendo did go all out in ordering these. So
Yeah, I see one right now
highly recommend it.
on screen. That's mine.
You know.
I'm the sovereign, pay your taxes.
If we talk about Metroid Dread, we might have some sort of deal there, but you know, that's the one.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, wonderful. Man, so you and Chris both got fancy stuff in the mail. Well, if you count the acoustic panels, all 3 of you did. And if we really want to embarrass ourselves, all 4 of us did because I tried the other day to install my my M.2 thing, my M.2 solid state into my motherboard for the first time. So when I upgraded my motherboard, I have now 2 slots for these things. But even though my old one had a slot, I never used it. It just hadn't come up. I didn't take advantage of it. Well, now I bought 2, and I was like, I'm finally going to install them. This is going to be great. And I lost the screws. I can't install them. They used the smallest screws I've literally ever seen in my whole life. I was even using a magnetic screwdriver to try to install them. Lost them both within like 5 minutes. So I have to order more screws to be able to install the hardware. But I'm going to order like 10 screws. I'm going to drop them everywhere in the case by accident. But at least one of them will survive.
You and that thing had one job. One job.
It really hurt. It was like I was staring at the screw on the end of my screwdriver, and then it just wasn't there anymore. And I looked everywhere. I even shook the case. I turned it upside down and all this stuff. It just, it's like a dirty sock. It was just gone. Just
How could this happen to me?
some people think magic isn't real, but I've seen it. All right.
No, there's like little elves that come into your house and they steal all your socks.
That's right. These are
Yes.
these are the type of elves that steal screws, but I don't want to give them a name because I don't think it'll go over well. Anyway, so now that we've all gotten 4 wonderful packages, let's talk about the things that we've been playing on some of those packages. Chris, can we start with you? Just because I'm so excited to hear more about this Steam Deck.
Yes. So, of course, we started our new stream schedule 2 weeks ago now.
Heck yeah.
So Thomas is on Mondays with the this time it'll be different.
Is that a question? Yes, that's what it's called. Hell yeah.
I just wanted to. I screw up with 1 or 2 words in there. I wanted to make sure it was right.
Fair enough.
And then Chairman Mao's Mowatorium, which is working perfectly for the vibes of Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate.
Yep.
Dayman Hunters.
Dayman Hunters. It's some good stuff. Chris, I tuned in live for some of your stream this week, just because schedule stuff, and I went back today and I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Chaos Gate a little bit. You restarted your game, which is fair because I just today was playing my restarted Frostpunk file where I was like, okay, I did so bad on the tutorial the first time, I'm just going to restart the tutorial and not lose half of my population in the first day. And we'll give it another shot. So I'm doing a lot better. Of course, times is still hard, but Chaos Gate seemed to be a similar situation for you where you were like, yo, I do want to like succeed a little in this very difficult game.
I couldn't progress the game. I kept like everyone would die, not just be like, ooh, this person's severely wounded and it's going to take them, however many days to get healed right. And then they'll be fine. None of that. It was literally everyone was dying in the field on every mission I went to. And I was like, okay, I'm going to bump it back down because it says standard is the way to play. It says the way the game was intended to be played. But the game, when you first boot it up, it starts you there. Then when you they had an update, it starts you on Merciful, which is the one below it, which is Rookie.
Right.
So when they updated the game, they were like, yeah, no, it should be this. It is hard. So yeah, I'm finally, able to progress. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And I started naming everybody from, members of our community. You get to, just like XCOM, you get to, customize your characters a little bit. It's all dudes. Sorry, Sav. Because she was like, hey, can I be a girl? And I was like, I don't think there's an option to, because it's, Space Hulk, whatever, Jesus-y. I think it's
name. Gears of War has a daughter.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Gears of War. They're like,
there is one woman in Demon Hunters.
Yeah, she's a Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the woman who's like super badass at the comms table all the time? Like the man table?
The British lady or whatever?
Yeah. Man, everybody's so tough and scarred up and just they don't smile very often, No.
There's no happy times.
No.
So we've got some of the crew here. We got Sovereign Sid Storm. So you get to give them the first name, and then you get to give the last name is, lore based. So Sid Storm. I like that one. This one's way up there for best name. Odysseus Palamedes.
Yeah, if
that's
not a legendary name, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it's literally a epic name.
He's like a machine gunner who also does a little support, little health. Sovereign Sid's a rogue, basically, that can teleport behind people and stab them with dual swords.
Yeah, but Chris, how many people can she teleport stab with her lightning swords in one turn?
Just like I do in real life.
Yeah. So a lot. So I have you have 3 action points, or you can increase those later on. But you also have willpower, which allows you to do your special abilities. And for Sid, I've stacked her willpower, so she has 10 willpower, where all the other characters have 3 or 5. So she can literally warp all over the battlefield all the time.
I'm a strong, independent black woman. Hey.
You also have Oh Man Stevo here with Steve Harn, Harne.
which is just perfect.
He's got a pokey stick that he uses. He also wears big, gigantic armor, and he also just got a ranged weapon upgrade today, so he's doing very good. Dus Rugen also up for name of the game. That is like the fact that it was like Rugen, and I was like, oh, sorry, just a little short.
Right.
Russ Dugan, and then I think Odysseus said Dus Rugen, and I go perfect.
Yep. For those at home, Russ Dukin is his name and his username and all that stuff, and so he's so perfect. When we told him this, because he wasn't here as it happened live, but he showed up later. When we told him this, he's like, "Oh yeah, actually, that's what another friend of mine calls me." Like, so Dus Rugen is actually a name that he has been called before. So it's like, okay, that was excellent use of surname.
When art imitates life.
Yeah.
And he's a great healer, very supportive in the game.
Well, just like real life, your friendly neighborhood.
Just like real life.
What are these guys? Grey Knights? Yeah.
Grey Knights, yep. Also love this Tegan Kern.
They took our jobs! There's nothing better than Kern. It's the most amazing.
He's got a big hammer. He goes bonking with it. He also just got a ranged upgrade because he also has to run from far away usually because he's so bulky and hammery that he really needs
it's not that big.
a better ranged weapon. We have Shani Sorak, who is a heavy machine gunner.
Shani Sorak. Hell yeah.
Shani Sorak. This one also very good for a name. He is going to be doing a lot of shielding and a lot of support. Ram Kane.
Is that Kane with a K?
With a K, yes, correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I have a open character that I need to name here. Then I also have Vilos Vortimer.
Hell yeah. My favorite wizard.
Has a very sweet ass sword.
Nice.
And he's the same class as Devi, but I'll probably have him go a different path so he's not warping all over the place, but he's doing some other cool stuff.
I'll just take all the force trauma, yeah.
Really enjoying that. If everybody's liking it, I can, especially since we're getting more names and stuff in there, I can keep streaming it. But who knows? There might be something else this week that ends up getting streamed, but we'll soon find out.
I know I'm having a good time. Well, chat, you heard it here first. If you enter your name in as one of the Grey Knights, you submit it to us across any of our socials or here on Twitch. It's lots of Chris. You really did good work with those. When I saw it, when you were reading them out loud, I was like, damn, those worked out.
I spent some time. This wasn't just willy-nilly naming out here. No, you got to put in the work to care about your soldiers.
That's right. Well, I'm proud of you. You're doing well. Nobody's dead on your new campaign, it seems.
Nobody's dead, but today, oh boy, got very close. There was like, Thomas, you were doing fine because you're armored up.
You don't have to tell me. Yeah, I know.
But Sid and Odysseus got very, very, very low before we were extracted. Like, if there was one more turn, it would not have been good.
Hold it together, guys. You gotta.
I know,
man. Well, they'll learn. They're still rookies yet.
Yeah, they're pretty low level.
That game, Chris, in run round, you had your extra perk thing was like, don't use your challenge for this round or for this mission is to not use a grenade, and the game threw like 30 enemies, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think there were at least 30 enemies on screen, and you kept joking that you were like, wow, that's a lot, but at least it's less than my last playthrough. Okay, now we're getting a little closer to my last playthrough. Okay, this is more than my last playthrough. Where it was just an absolute waterfall of enemy bodies, and even like some of them are spawning more enemies. It was just pandemonium. It's interesting to see. So it's Warhammer 40k. I've only played the one session of Darktide with you and a couple people in the past month or two. Only Warhammer game that I've ever played. But it's like Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood, right? So this game is doing a cool job of showing that this world really is just an onslaught of huge numbers of enemies all the time. Because when you see that in a shooter, you're just like, okay, this is kind of wacky, arcadey. But when you see something like this, I don't think I would describe it as arcadey. It just seems like it makes a little more sense of, oh, these enemies are literally just berserk running at your field of fire, and that's, their whole thing is they don't have real tactics, they just have huge numbers.
Listen, they have faith.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
right. They do have faith. There is some characters that I've come across recently that are armored, and they also heal themselves. So if you don't break their armor and like start whittling down their health right away, like in like large amounts, then on their next turn they'll kind of run away and hide really quick, and then like give themselves a heal and then get back in the fight.
Was that the same one that used the like field of weakness or whatever? Where it was like
Yes.
it survived long enough, and then it was like, oh, dip, it spawned eggs that are gonna hatch, and anything, I think including it, that stands in this field of yucky green nastiness.
So that was part of that. That's part of that meter that fills up at the top. That are those
Oh,
bad triggers that happen.
right.
So that can either trigger like more reinforcements to show up, or like just big green icky area that if you stand in it, it makes you weaker. It can trigger all kinds of. It triggered a something called a corpse. Not a corpse revival, but something like that, where all of a sudden there was these 4 or 5 like green spots over them when it was my turn to attack, or like on the ground, and it just had like little like swords on top of them, meaning like, oh, you need to go attack these, and if you don't, poxwalkers pop out. Poxwalker gift is what it's called.
Poxwalker gift?
Yes.
Yuck.
um
I don't
and
want any.
literally they will literally just spawn out of the ground if you don't attack those. Use your action points to not take out the other enemies around. It'll spawn like little poxwalkers that will fuck with you.
Yeah.
So
Well, cool. Well, I've asked you a bunch of questions, but hopefully we'll see more Chads at Chaos Gate next week. I would love to, certainly. But you still had some other stuff on here. I wanted to make sure that you mentioned everything you wanted to before we
oh
move
yeah,
on.
yeah, really really fast. Part of having a Steam Deck is being overwhelmed on what to play and being like, I don't know what to play on here. So it's download a whole bunch of shit and then start playing it and then figure out what you actually want to play on it. So I did that. I downloaded it. Well, I had already had this in my library, but it's my first time really, really sitting down with it. It's this game called Night Call from Raw Fury. This came out in, I want to say, 2017, 2018, something like that. But this was around the time that I started doing like reviews and stuff, and I had a few of them for my old podcast. And they sent Raw Fury was like, here's a bundle of like 5 games, and one of them was Night Call, and I remember kind of playing it for like a few minutes and being like, this isn't. I don't want to play. This isn't what I want to be playing right now.
Yeah.
But on something like the Steam Deck, I was like, that'll be great because it's sort of visual novel esque, a lot of talking and picking your choices of what you want to say. But basically, you're a taxi driver in Paris who's attacked by a serial killer called the Judge.
The Judge.
And then
That
you immediately surrender.
is wreaking havoc in Paris. You wake up from a coma after being attacked, and basically the police are asking for your help trying to figure out who this killer is because you're the only person to survive his attacks. So you are a cab driver. So you literally just drive your cab around and talk to people. And you'll pick them up and they'll sit there and talk with you about whatever. But from some of those conversations, you can start piecing together clues. There's areas that you can go to investigate. Maybe the cop will give you some clues to go check out. But it's just interesting. The visual style is very cinematic and cool. The way that it works on the Steam Deck and how it worked on PC too is the screen is kind of split in half, and the top half of it is like your map, and the bottom half is like a camera view of you driving your taxi with the person in the back and all of the dialogue going back and forth. It's not voice acted, so you're reading a lot, but it is very. Just the visual style is very cool. The music is very cool. It's very tone setting. So, like somebody gets in your car and they're a little goofy, the music will be lighter and more playful. And then, like as something changes in what they're telling you, maybe you'll hear the music just tonally shift, and now you're in like a different. Music's very good. Style's very good. It feels really cool to. I'm still like trying to wrap my head around the. There's like a corkboard mechanic where you're kind of moving clues around and like putting them under different suspects and things. The thing that I will say that is very incredibly frustrating about this game, and I don't understand why this is, I deleted the save that I had originally just barely started. And I started a brand new save and started playing again. And it was still telling me that I had already met people. And I'm like, when I played the game for 5 minutes 3 years ago. So like people will
no, that's
yes, and people get into the car and it'll be like, oh, you've already met this person, and so like they just skip all of the other stuff. I guess it's because there's like several different cases, I guess, that you can take on. The first one is just the judge, and there's a couple others. I was like, oh, I'll just do the introductory one, and like it's this one lady who's like a prostitute that that you sometimes give rides home from work. She like got in the car and like started talking to me like she knew me, and I'm like, I don't understand who this person is or my relationship to them, except for now halfway through our dialogue conversation, I'm starting to get it. Like they'll say things like, I've already told you before, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't understand how when I deleted a save, it still saved that I had met these people. Like, no, just delete everything.
So to be clear, you're sure that it's not on purpose, like that's not purposely how it is, where they're like, I've met you before you've played the game, right? Like
Yes, because when I opened the yes, because I remember specifically when I played this before, when I played for the 10 or 15 minutes, this female cop got into my car and started talking crazy to me, being like, something's not right about you, blah 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 blah. Don't remember specifics, but then like while I'm playing this new save, you start talking to a friend of yours in the car, and you're like being like, yeah, this cop wasn't very nice to me, blah blah blah, and it's like, I don't remember that really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's if I've deleted the save, wipe it clean. There's no way to wipe it clean. Like, I don't understand how you can't just clean slate it, because when I opened up like all the pictures of people, it's like, oh, you've already met 4 of these people, and I'm like, oh.
Right. Well, sorry.
No. Yeah.
So that sounds
really
like a pretty good Steam Deck experience.
It's really cool. It's really good for a Steam Deck experience, especially like it's more like I'm going to read a book before going to bed, or like just get into like a certain
little
mood.
night read, you know?
Oh, like
night read.
like Frostpunk is for Tegan. Something to wind down with.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's really dark sometimes, and like in ways that I'm like, is everybody just incredibly sad with way more deep shit going on than just whatever, like,
the game is in grayscale.
Yeah,
so.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
yeah,
it's literally in black and white.
So I'm like, at parts of it, I'm like, wow, this is incredible. Why weren't more people talking about this? And then at other times, I'm like, that was a weird interaction.
You're
that
like,
we just
I know
had there.
what I'm going to be talking about this. It's broken.
It's weird. But it's cool. I enjoy it. And once I finish like the first thing, it might be something that is streamable. Because once I've beaten the first case, there's other cases to take on. So fun noir stuff if you're into mysteries and such things, figuring out who done it. But also, like Thomas said, there's a sale going on Steam. The builder sale.
Yep, builder sale.
Base builder sale. Part of that, I think, was because they just did this demo drop for SteamWorld Build. And so all of the SteamWorld games were on sale. And I specifically remember Giant Bomb always like really pushing the SteamWorld games, like saying, "Hey, these are really great." Like specifically SteamWorld Dig 2 and SteamWorld Quest. So I got like both those games for $10 total,
Seems good.
and I was like, "I'm gonna play these on Steam Deck." SteamWorld Dig 2 is so good. It is a Metroidvania. It doesn't seem to be roguelite in any way, except when you die, you just like start back at the town and then have to head back into the caves. But it's really cool. It's beautiful. The music is really good. Pretty much every upgrade I've gotten so far, I'm like, this is substantial and really helps me. Basically, the kind of pitch of it, which I didn't play the first game, but this is the one that I remember Giant Bomb really pushing, being like, "This game's great." Um, is the character from the first game is lost in these mines, and you have to go find them. That sounds like familiar. That sounds like a Spelunk 2,
Yeah.
also similar. Oh, they're lost in the mines or in the caves. Go find them. So you're trying to find that person, and you get to this town. They're having all these issues with their mine. So you just start mining. You have a pickaxe, breaking away dirt, but you also have like a lamp that'll start losing light the farther and farther you go down. Like you just have like a lantern level that'll just keep your oil will keep dissipating and dissipating and dissipating. Then when it gets too dark, you can't really see where you're going. So that means you need to get back to the surface and refill your lantern, go back in. And there's tubes that'll get you like farther and farther down. But it's really, really well made. I believe.
Okay, everybody saw the line, right?
Yeah, I was just like, what?
What's
The
that?
review, it was like, I
Yeah.
whooped and hollered like a demented seal.
Yes. Yes. Um, but this came out in 2017, so I'd have to see what other Metroidvania roguelite games came out that year. But yeah, man, this one, I knew that people said it was good, but I just never got around to playing it. Once the sale hit, I was like, I'm grabbing that for sure. And it's been great. So I'm sure it had a lot of competition. Indie games have a way of being like, "Oh, Metroidvanias are super popular right now. Let's pump out a bunch of them."
Yeah.
So maybe this came out at the wrong time, but it's really, really good. So if you see, it's on sale for like $4.99 or something right now on Steam. So really, really good. And I'm hoping that Steam Quest is just as good, which I know is like a card battler turn-based thing. But yeah, just literally dabbling in a little bit of everything. I even played a little Portal the other day just to play stuff on the Steam Deck.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of stuff, my friend. You were going a while there without playing much of anything. Kinda. You had a little drought there, so it seems like you're back on top.
See, but I still sort of feel in a drought. Like I'm playing a lot of things, but I'm not playing like I don't know. There's not anything I'm playing right now where I'm like, I can't put this down. It's all right, I'm done with this for a while.
Yeah.
I'm going to go set that down for, maybe I won't even play it for the rest of the day. Maybe that's a tomorrow or the next day kind of thing. But you had a tail pop up there, Thomas.
I do. Man, you guys don't miss anything. Yeah, Kitty's climbing around.
Just a heads up for Chris on that 2017 list. The funniest thing is that you're absolutely right about Metroidvanias that year. So we got Death's Gambit, which is phenomenal. I played some of the Death's Gambit Afterlife. Time Spinner, which is incredible.
Which is big, yep.
Rain World, which is not as well known, but it's also wildly unique in the
really popular right now, actually.
Yeah, Katana Zero.
Katana Zero.
Yeah.
And Sundered.
And what was the last one?
Oh, Sundered.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking Sundered is so good.
It was not alone in the Metroidvania field.
No.
Like for real.
Well, that's a lot of stuff, and yeah, I mean, chat's in here mentioning all sorts of stuff we could play on Steam as well. It's Steam season. I've been trying to learn how to better use my Stream Deck. Now that I'm saying Stream Deck and Steam Deck at the same time, it's really not making anything easy for me. Oof, is how I feel about that. But I'm
Big
excited for
oof.
you. Well, you know what, Vilos, can we hear a little bit more about what you've been playing?
No.
All
Okay.
right, and
All right.
That's it. That's the pot. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So yeah, I am not talking about Fire Emblem this week because I did not play enough of it to explode about it, you know.
I mean,
Um
what? Only like 20 hours?
Context.
yeah, yeah. Um so I put down on the list a game called Will Die Alone. It sounds drab. Well,
It does.
yeah.
But is it
um
grayscale?
no. The fun thing about Will Die Alone, besides the title being extremely, foreboding and everything, as this video shows, the entirety of this game is maximum 30 minutes. 45 if you want to take it slow and make the right choices, but it's basically playing Severance, the TV show on Apple. Um,
Oh,
that's the whole point, is that you get this job at DeWitt Corp or whatever. I think that's the name of the corporation, and the whole point of your job is technically different from Severance, but the whole point of your job is to erase memories of particular people. And in doing so,
Oh,
you have to change the future by doing that. Well, not technically change the future, but change their future in doing so, right? So the point is, it gives you, hey, this guy divorced, and like he died alone because he got divorced, and there's like a timeline of things that they did that you can choose from, particular memories, and you have to choose the right one to delete. Otherwise, it does this quick little graphic of like it kind of treats these games or treats these moments as like Polaroids. So you see this new image pop up, and then it tells you another new timeline, and it's basically, okay, he made this choice, he made this choice, he made this choice. He will die alone. It's like fuck. Okay, well, on to the next one,
oh man.
and you only have like four people in the main part of the game. There's a side story that's technically a prequel, but seriously, you can play the entirety of the game in 45 minutes. It's very quick but very poignant, and I think that really this trailer even tells you all you really need to know about it. It's very much looks like a browser, like you are just this person at the computer doing your quick little button presses. But I played through it on Switch, and it was easy enough to deal with. It wasn't hard because there was no actual mouse. But it's definitely a really cool experience, a good concept, and it's one of those games that's just like, okay, I bought it for $2 on sale. It was worth its time. I would play a bigger version of it. Unfortunately, we just don't have that bigger version yet. So, um,
Do you know if
yeah.
the developer has any other games or if there are any in the works or anything? Sometimes the game that, you know, even people like you who are very in tune to like underground titles. I mean, Violets, you'll find hidden gems in places where I'm like, what rock did you search under to find this thing? And it's got some backstory. A lot of times when I stumble on a game like that, it ends up being like their second game, and they had some mysterious first game that no one heard of 3 years ago. So I'm looking at a game like that, and I'm like, is that their first game or their second game? Because it's
Yeah, and they're actually a really cool person. I didn't do a whole lot of research on them, but the creator's name is Ariana Ravioli.
well, I love that.
Yeah. And so this is a very new game. So I think they're actually like recently out of college, cuz Will Die Alone was got them an award. So
oh
uh
wow.
it got the 2021 IULM Merit Award. Uh and yeah, they're one of those like kind of freelance narrative designers that I'm really into. Because there's a ton of them on Twitter. Like that's one of my favorite things to do is find a narrative designer that's just going around and doing these cool little story bits for all these games.
Yeah.
And that's what they seem to be doing right now. But you're right, as far as these indies, that is how they work. The people that want to tell these stories, they get into a very particular niche. Some of them are doing it via school, but like this person in particular has uh, projects like their first game. It says from their straight from their website, my first game and narrative experience that started as a final project for my Masters of Arts in Game Design
Oh,
uh, was published on Steam and consoles by Fantastico Studio. Like that's really cool that's how you get a game out there.
yeah.
And yeah, this was actually officially their first game.
That's cool.
quote
That's so
unquote.
cool. It's like Game Dev Tycoon, but like in real life.
But for real. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. I just watched
For real
Shani.
life.
Well, you and I both watched Shani play Game
Mhm.
Dev Tycoon in Discord this week. It was a good time. I've got a
Which is not
screenshot.
to be confused with Game Dev Story, which is very, very similar, but on the phone.
Oh my gosh, that's like Golf Story and Golf for Everyone and everybody's golf. Like they're all somehow different. I don't know.
What the golf is different.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be Clash of Golf soon, or you
Oh
know,
no.
Golf of Legends. That's the
Golf
next.
versus zombies.
Yeah. We can't say these things. We'll accidentally speak them into reality.
No, it's too late now.
Well, that was "Will Die Alone." That's interesting, and that's like your Vilos indie moment there.
Yeah, I really highly suggest checking it out if possible. I think it goes under $2 sometimes. But yeah, you can easily find it on Steam or Switch. I mean, this
$2.50 right
Ari-
now.
yeah, Ariana Ravioli. I'm looking at their portfolio, and they even have they even have like resumes that they set up in the same way. It says like large black letters, a name, and then her memories, her future. Like it's just a whole vibe visually, and it'll tug at your heartstrings. Just know that there is a content and or trigger warning at the very beginning of the game, just in case you have depressive tendencies and might get triggered. But it's a very good game.
I just love that I can't hear her name without smiling. It's so
True.
lovely.
Yeah, that is that. I mean, it reminds me, Vilos of Victoria Tran from Among Us, right? Because it's like the vibe you put into your work is also your personal. It's all a whole thing. It's
Exactly.
it's either like they're always on or they're very good at making a persona for their creative self. But either way, well done. I mean, that made me smile. This whole thing has been great.
Yeah, I don't know where the ravioli comes from.
Italy, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say Italy.
But I actually don't know that. I don't know that. Anyway, before we get too deep into more ravioli puns, because if we stay here too long, it will happen. I wish you good luck, Philos, on your Fire Emblem journey. After you showed us that, is that the collector's edition? Is that
Oh,
what
yeah.
it's called that you showed us earlier?
Divine Edition.
Divine Edition.
Yeah.
What a knockout. That is that's really exciting. So I'm excited to probably hear more from you next week. I mean, I hope I hear more from you next week because that'll mean you had a chance to really sink more time into it. I'm happy for you, really. I want to see that. And hey, if you ever feel like streaming any of that, anywhere where I can watch live and in living color, I wouldn't be mad about it. But let's Sav, let's talk about you. Let's talk about a little splitty split. A throwback favorite.
Well, I'm actually kind of sad that I didn't feature DKO as my game this week because you made the perfect segue for it. Before I do get into Splitgate, though, I do want to mention I've been playing a game. I'm putting some time syncing into a game called Mech Arena, and Odysseus actually watched me play this while he was doing something in Discord, and it's basically just like elevator pitch. It's like you're in a mech and you shoot other mechs, and that's the game.
Yep.
It's made by the same people who did what's it called? Shadow Legends. What's it called?
Raid. Yeah.
Raid. Thank you. I was gonna say Riot, but that's not right.
Raid Shadow
Raid
Golf.
Shadow Legends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's obviously very like, hey, while you're here, why don't you buy this game packet? Oh, look at that. You just got a new weapon. Look, you could buy a thing for that. Oh, okay. Well, how about this upgrade? You could buy that too. Like as soon as you log in, you're just bombarded with all the stuff that you could buy with in-game money. Of course, I don't. because it's not $100, so I don't roll that way. But it's been a lot of fun. You know, like if I'm doing something, waiting for like a video to render, or just hanging out in Discord watching other people do stuff, I'll just log on, do my dailies, and shoot some guns, and it's pretty nice.
That is nice. I see Vincent in chat, who's the first person who showed me a mech battler. I can't remember what genre it was even, but I want to read
It
this
must
out loud.
be Super Mecha Champions.
That sounds right.
Yeah, because we played that together in the past too.
Well, he says, I love being and or shooting mechs. True words have never been spoken.
Does custom Robo count as a mech game?
God, I wish we got another custom Robo. It was so good. It was so good. That's the game that needs to, when they start doing Virtual Console on Switch for GameCube games, that needs to come there. That and Sonic Adventure 2. Those are the only games I need. And wait, no, well, we already got Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, but then Tales of Symphonia. Okay, those are the only games we need.
Yep, yeah.
But moving on to the game that I actually am featuring this week, it is Splitgate. I jumped back into Splitgate after I finished streaming on the DKO channel. I was like, you know what? I'm still in the mood to stream, but I didn't want to stream anymore like DKO that night. So I went live on my own channel and played a bunch of Splitgate, and it was so much fun to like hop back into the Splitgate-osphere, I guess you could call it. Especially considering the studio has quote unquote closed the doors on its development, so they're not going to be working on the game anymore. Any updates that they had planned, you know, in the future, I think they're still going to come out because, you know, they're already like built and planned and all that whatnot. But as of for now, they're not going to be supporting it like in the future, and they're going to be putting all of their endeavors into the next game, which you can actually sign up to be on a newsletter to receive updates about.
Oh.
I don't know how to do that like on social media, but if you log into Splitgate, there's like a little prompt on there that's like sign up for the newsletter, and then it'll take you to the thing. So it's supposed to be like a spiritual sequel to Splitgate. So I'm hoping that they'll take everything that they've learned from Splitgate being in early access for like 3 years before finally launching, and you know, put it into that game. And I hope that they finally change the name of the window, because
from like Portal Wars.
Yeah, it's still Portal Wars. The game actually froze on me when I was playing last night, and I had to control Shift Escape to open Task Manager, and it still said Portal Wars.exe. In the, you know,
they literally never fixed it in the entire development of the whole game. Wow.
But it's so good because I mean that's basically what it is. It's Portal with Halo. So
yeah, it's good stuff. Remember before Infinite came out, we were like, is this the is this the Halo killer? And then Halo came out, and it turned out there was room for both of them. But then Halo couldn't keep up, and then Splitgate was the new Halo. You know.
And then it died.
Yeah, it was a bummer that Halo didn't turn out better, but you know, the like fresh experience of mixing those shooter mechanics with the wild physics, mind-bending element of like shooting around corners, you know, makes you feel really cool. You don't even have to be good at Splitgate to feel like a pretty cool guy, you know. Lots of cool guy moments. Trademark.
I was really good at oddball in that.
It's fun smacking people with the ball. It is, because you just lunk, like literally with both your hands. You just smack them upside the skull. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's one of the only games I like. I actually like the oddball mode in, which is funny to say because DKO recently re-released their oddball. They took it off the rotation to fix some tweaks and stuff and balances with it. It came back and it's actually a lot better now with all the changes they made to it. It's back. So we'll see how it evolves over time with DKO. But as far as Splitgate goes, it's one of the most fun oddball modes, especially because the portals make it so chaotic and frenetic that like everything is always moving at all times. And it's so hard to pin someone down if they are really good at using portals, because even though you can't shoot your gun while you're holding the oddball, you can still portal. So like if you are one of the people who just ran the race courses all the time so you could get all the portal paths down and travel like at the speed of light all the time around the map, then you win. I mean, you'll win. But it's so much fun. I just throw on some music, you know, get myself a witch doctor or two, and it's one of the games that I just get sauce to shoot at. It's fun.
Sauce Wars. Portal sauce? I don't know. There's something in there.
That's a whole other thing.
There is.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it's always good to see you playing this. This game is like it's just a hoot to watch. I think this is a really good game for people who don't watch a lot of shooter streams. Because you don't really need to know anything as a viewer. I mean, you've got pretty straightforward weapons. You've got like map stuff that's gonna just be going really fast anyway, but don't sweat it. But like Sav, this clip that we're watching from your channel is just clean. You know, you got the baseball bat. I forgot about that melee weapon.
It's one of the only like FPSs that makes me feel like I'm good at FPSs.
Yeah.
Because like I'm okay at Halo, but Halo has so much like controller aim assist that literally a 5-year-old could just basically pick up a controller and beat you.
Woo!
So
Shots fired. Shots fired.
I mean, that's
No, you're not wrong.
I am that 5-year-old. Come on.
Yeah.
But you know what? A 5-year-old lost into this game, and I'm gonna teach them a lesson. I'll tell you what. They're
just
gonna learn the hard way today.
I love throwing a portal on the ground and then putting one up high so that I'll just shoot out, once I jump down through the portal. That's what most of my games are me just getting shot in the back while I'm like fiddling around with science. I'm usually not at the top of the charts on the kills, but
We'll
oops.
have to find some way to play it because
You're
I
a
know that we were
scientist.
gonna play it once on stream, like on this channel once, but at the time your motherboard couldn't handle it or something like that. So
Yep.
It broke very
hopefully
badly.
before it dies for real, we'll be able to get up there and play.
Yeah, I
It
could
still
probably.
is free to download, everybody. So
Oh, it is still free to download. Well, I should get this up again because this is worth playing. And yeah, my old processor couldn't handle none of it. Not on stream anyway. Whew. So that'd be a lot of fun. This game has just a lot of good modes, and something I appreciated from it was that you can really customize the map types that you queue for. So in matchmaking, you can be like very specific about which maps and different queues, because there are tons of different game types, which ones you want to queue for. So it's not like some games, many shooters and multiplayer games struggle from something where, depending on the time of day, let's say you're playing on like a Sunday night or something, if there's a certain weird game mode that not a lot of people play, in most games, you're just not going to get a game quickly at all. You're going to be waiting 15 minutes for a lobby. But Splitgate allows you to queue for tons of different game types. And yeah, of course, the most popular ones are probably going to come up the most. But there's still a chance that you can play those weird oddball ones because everyone's queued for a ton of things. So it makes it easy to play some of the weird off-the-wall things and not feel like you need to be playing at peak hours, which, even in Overwatch, in some of the arcade matches, I feel like that. I'm like, man, there's got to be 11 other people who want to play this mode right now. I don't want to wait 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, I definitely do not queue for the SWAT modes. I like me some radar, okay? Give me the radar. And also, I don't queue for the zombie modes either because fuck zombies.
Well, that's the last word on that, man. You've said a few times you're like zombies. Nah, we're all Egyptian and Norse right now. We're leaving zombies behind.
I'm up for the Norse ride. I am. I can't wait for that wave to keep coming.
They'll make a Norse version of Splitgate. Norse skins. Yeah. They'll use the Bifrost to jump through portals. I don't know. They're probably doing this on Fortnite right now.
It's actually funny you say that because when I played yesterday, the featured skin in the shop was one called Ironside, which was definitely a Viking.
Yeah. Yeah. They got their fingers on the pulse.
And the braided beard and everything. It's too funny.
Man.
And then DKO's next update is going to be Norse themed too. So.
That's right. Keep it coming.
We're okay with that at least.
Yeah, we are.
We're okay with that. Well, hell yeah. Is there anything else besides Splitgate you've been playing? Obviously, you've been playing Divine Knockout still on, as an official. What's your official title, actually, so I don't get it wrong?
I am. So it's weird because it's two separate roles. I am an ambassador, which is basically like, I'm like a face for the game, basically. And then I'm on the official stream team. I'm a stream team member. So being an ambassador doesn't outright mean that you're automatically on the stream team. It's two separate applications. And when I applied for the stream team one, because I had applied to be an ambassador, like at TwitchCon, because they had they gave you the code for the alpha or whatever.
Yeah.
And then would you like to be like a DKO partner or whatever? And so I joined the alpha and then I applied for that. I didn't hear anything back. So like last month, I reapplied again just to make sure I used the right email. Or it was like 2 months ago. And then during a dev takeover stream on the official channel, because I'd been hanging out there a lot, one of the representatives from Hi-Res reached out to me in DMs and was like, "Hey, are you on the stream team?" Blah blah blah. And I was like, "No, actually, this has happened, and I applied for this." And she was like, "Okay, let me pull some strings." So I applied to be on the stream team, like the stream team, while waiting to hear back from my ambassador thing, and then I got accepted to both on the same day.
Lol.
Yeah.
Money.
That's right.
So it's fun. It's been fun. Yeah. Being on the stream team actually is a paid position, so that's really nice.
Yeah, that's
I'm
dope.
being paid to play video games on top of my full-time streaming that I'm doing already. So that's cool.
Yeah. Man,
Second
you'll
parent,
have.
not my parents. My parents always support it, but the other ones who don't believe in video games.
If you do the right, that means you'll actually have like a W-2 for gaming. You will officially put that up like a diploma, That's super cool. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, excellent. Well, yeah, so Splitgate, little splitty split, and Divine Knockout, mostly for you. I know, well, in the mech game. What was the mech game called again?
Mech Arena.
Mech Arena, that's right.
Yeah. It's not like, the most groundbreaking game on the planet, but like I said, I just use it for like a little time sink if I just am bored and want to pass some time. And if I'm burnt out on another game like Splatoon or something, I'm just like, I don't know what to play. Let me just pass some time when I think about it. Mech Arena. Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, then let's talk about the last game we've got on the list. Chris and I played Spider Heck last week on stream. Then we played it again over the weekend, which feels like a year ago at this point. This week's been so long. That game, Spider Heck, y'all, is so much fun. It's on Game Pass. It's on everything. It's actually on every major system right now. So I am confident, I would say, that there is no crossplay. But we've all been playing together on Game Pass on the Microsoft Store, on PC Microsoft Store, I should say. And that's just been a barrel of fun. I'm going to restart this video here that we'll watch as we talk about it. But I will play the video at the end. If you want to stick around, I'll play it with the audio. It's pretty funny. This, just watch. I'm going to full screen it here. This game is so much fun. It has a baller soundtrack the whole time. The menus are great. Just lots of little things to love, like me falling into Chris's lightsaber just now. But what the game actually is a swinging, shooting, spider heckin' brawler. And there's that's a name that's as silly as the game itself. You and your friends can either play wave-based co-op, or my video's looking all crazy right here. Hold on. You can play wave-based co-op, or you can play versus. A classic versus like you'd play in a duck game, which is another wonderful party game that you cannot matchmake for because there aren't enough players in the world. It never works. It's just a real shame. But this game is wonderful. You pick up all of these items, all these weapons that have lots of lasers and explosions and all sorts of fun stuff. And there's the death zone. Oh, bye, Chris. You just flew off screen. The death zone there will kill you and enemies alike. But it's it's unlikely that the enemies will fly in there, but it's really easy to knock yourself in here. Watch, Chris almost knocks himself. The kickback from his gun. Oh, it did kill him, actually.
This whole game is about hubris.
Yes, it is.
You just cannot go out there super confident and expect to win.
Oh, but so this right here was me. I was like, oh man, I'm feeling pretty cool. Look at all this cool shotgun swinging and stuff. And then I swung directly into the death zone and died. Chris says, well, how do you feel now? Humbled. That's how I feel.
Yep.
So just lots of stuff. I mean, when we played this last week, I was glad that Lizzie was out of the house because I couldn't stop myself from screaming. I mean, look at this. Look at this huge laser that kills everything and knocks everybody back. Absolute. Oh, yeah, Fuzzy, we're talking about Spider Heck. Absolute pandemonium. Seriously, I cannot recommend this game enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I was belly laughing a lot, both on the stream and afterwards this weekend. I don't know what else to say. This video speaks for itself, and this is like such a small amount of our stream that you guys are watching. It's a huge bomb. It's such a huge bomb. It's cuckoo bananas, y'all. It's absolutely cuckoo bananas.
Cuckoo bananas.
Oh, that chat command is not correct. Oops.
It's cool.
Sav. But goodness, I mean, just what a great game. So, silly physics, lots of weapony stuff, but the real game changer for me was that you can either play co-op or versus. Because with the co-op, it makes it so that even if you're playing with a team where one person is very experienced and someone else is brand spanking new, if you're on the same team, it's just as fun to play. You know, sometimes it can be no fun to play a game like this, like Smash Brothers, where your friend is really, really good at the game and you're really not. You know, that can suck sometimes because
Yes.
some people also like don't, they show no mercy. Anyway, a co-op mode really solves that problem. So you can play with anybody. You don't need to be good at the swinging to have fun laughing at the swinging. Um, and dying, kind of just like Chaos Gate, dying is part of the package. You're accidentally going to shoot your friends, and you're accidentally going to blow yourself up. Just lots of goofball stuff. But I'll play the video at the end with sound one more time. But I highly recommend going and watching our VOD here on Twitch. We'll have that up on the whole thing up on YouTube later. One of the most fun. Well, actually, I'd say it's the most fun stream I've had this year, outside of all the fun with Pentiment.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a really good time. So, yep, go watch that, and we'll just keep talking about it. Because we're gonna keep playing it. This is a kind of game. It supports 1 through 4 players. I think you could play the co-op mode just by yourself, because you can't. I mean, it allows you to certainly. But there's lots of difficulty modifiers in between waves. There, in between rounds, you can buy upgrades, just like a roguelike or something, or like Played Up. You do a round and then you buy an upgrade. But in so choosing your upgrade, you also choose your map. It'll show you what kind of map it'll offer. So if there's if there's a specific map you do or don't want to try out, you can find it or avoid it. And even on the matchmaking, like one of the settings menu screens, you can customize which maps will be in the regular rotation. So if there's a specific map that you and your friends just can't stand, you turn it off and you play with all the other ones. It's great. There's also, as an aside, there's also a great menu. One of the best menus I've played in a while, probably besides Deep Rock Galactic, where the main menu where you just hang out in the lobby. You can practice weapons. You can choose, of course, your the mode type that you want to play. But there's also an obstacle course, like a challenge mode thing, that'll really test your skills. That I've only gotten past like 3 platforms. Chris, I know you've gotten further than me. I don't know how far you've gotten.
But oh no, it's like 3 or 4 of the platforms, and that was it.
They're pretty tough.
Yeah,
so
they're really hard.
It's nice that that's just right there in the lobby. You don't have to leave. You don't have to like select it somewhere. It's just there, so you can play around while you're waiting for your friends or whatever. But anyway, that's Spider Heck. I'll talk about that more after I go back and do some more editing. This was some fun footage to cut through. So yeah, that's the best party game I've played in 2023. So we'll keep that on the rotation on our Discord. But I think that's going to be it for what we've been playing. We've been playing a lot of stuff. And as always, a pretty wide variety, too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of prep for our game for tonight. We'll do some Hi-Fi Rush, which is a rhythm game that, as I said before, got announced and released yesterday. But as I set that up, Violets, do you want to get the ball rolling on some little discussion, a little party topic tonight?
Yeah. We're gonna do a little thing here that is, what are our favorite rhythm games? Of course, Hi-Fi Rush being announced and everything. Just Twitter was talking about it way too much, and everybody was like, this looks like 25 different games.
Mm-hmm.
And I got real salty about Sunset Overdrive because I feel like I was like one of 5 people that played it all the way through. But I digress.
But who's better? Who's better?
I wanted to play that game, but at the time it first came out, it was like an Xbox exclusive or something, and I didn't have mine anymore.
Yeah.
So
It
like
was
then it
perfect.
came out on PC, and I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was already like deep into Splatoon. So
It's so good. It's still good today. Buying it on PC actually sounds like a good idea. That would be fun. It had a ton of DLC. Like I'm pretty sure I put at least 70 hours into that sucker. But again, that is like one part of what Hi-Fi Rush appears to be. Uh, for me personally,
Get down.
I play a lot of rhythm games, but
Yeah.
last year I played two at the same time and did a whole ass review on both of them.
He
And that
played
was
one on a Guitar Hero controller and the other one with a footpad.
sure
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
The exact way I played. But no, my favorite recent rhythm game is A Musical Story. Uh, that game is just incredibly unique in how it does what it does. It tells a story with no dialogue, just music, and these really beautiful or even sometimes beautifully ugly art scenes going on in the back, and just that very simple but still occasionally difficult um, repetition style of gameplay where you've got the circle and you're just hitting the notes as they come up. As we get the video up here, um, you just hold in a certain direction when needed, or you just feel it. You feel the music going, and that's what really drives you to get it right every time. Because
You
I
got to
can tell you,
get the right sound feel.
yeah, I can tell you, it was hard doing it uh, with the
Phrasing?
Switch connected to the TV. Yeah, I tried to get it out there. If I were playing like handheld and with headphones, I'm pretty sure it would have been the best experience overall. But I still haven't tried it like that. There you go, Chris. That would be a choice for the Steam Deck. I think a musical.
Musical story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
headphones
too
in.
would appreciate that suggestion since I also own a Steam Deck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Steam Squad.
But yes, a musical story came out last year, and I can't recommend it any more than I do. I think that had 25, maybe less,
No.
around 20 levels to explore and tell this really beautiful story.
A musical
This
story.
70s and drugs inspired story. That's all
Yes,
it really is, but it's beautiful.
Woodstock the game.
It is. It totally is. It's 150% the point. Although there's some sadness, there's some romance. Literally after that clip, like your main character is actually naked, like a second after that. So it's kind of funny.
Do we see this?
Yeah. In a 70s cartoony way, but yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite rhythm game. Most recently, I do play a ton of them.
Hey,
I know you
Vilos,
guys do.
let me interrupt you real quick. That's a noodle alert. Okay, that's a throwback.
Yes,
A
yes, that would
callback
be a
there.
new one.
Yeah, that's a noodle alert called out from Odysseus there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Noodle alert.
So let's see. We Tegan, you're gonna go last for just writing it like that. And Sob's got
I
a
can
lot.
go because
Yeah.
yeah, because I have a question. Does Tetris Effect count as a rhythm game?
Yes.
Yeah, I think.
If you're talking about connected, yeah.
Connected. What do you mean connected?
So well, it's connected on Game Pass technically, but
Yeah,
Tetris Effect connected.
it's called Connect. So it's originally just called Tetris Effect, and then they did like an updated version called Tetris Effect Connected, which like then you could play against each other and stuff like that. But yeah, that whole game is like that's not really what I think of when I think of a rhythm game, but like as you like twist the Tetris pieces around, it makes music that makes sounds that are with the music that is playing in the back. Like it just feels very rhythmic.
And in some of the higher difficulty levels, it actually forces you to go along with the music in order to get the feel right too. So like I
That's
don't
cool.
remember, it was what is it, like the endless mode or whatever it's called in this one, has that, and after I think I could play like 4 minutes straight and it just goes and goes and goes and goes until you just can't anymore. And at the end of that, it would always be like you're clicking to slam your shape down like on that beat because it's coming so fast at you. Like,
Yeah, and if that is an unacceptable answer, then my answer would be Beat Saber. First time playing that in a yeah, Beat Saber or Box VR, which is like a boxing workout game, but you're boxing to the beat of the song. All of those are any rhythm game is like a great experience in VR.
Yeah, for sure. Like VR's made for that stuff. I'm distracted. I'm trying to build an animosity through using Twitch emotes, like some just real horrible looking thing. I can't do it.
I have to. Since I've said mine, I have to bail really quick. Ava's got to go outside. She's whining at me.
Okay, bye.
Wow. Any excuse not to hear what I have to say then, Chris. Wow, I can't believe it.
yeah.
Which is actually really funny because I can piggyback off of what he said.
Right.
One of my favorite rhythm games is actually Beat Saber. It is
It's a good one.
One of the first games that made me fall in love with virtual reality, and it was the second game that I played for virtual reality. The first one was called the Unspeakables, Unbreakables, something like that, where you played like a wizard, like a mage, and you cast spells with hand motions and stuff. It was really, really cool. But the one that made me really fall in love with virtual reality was Beat Saber. And I'm really good at it. I like games that I'm really immediately good at. That's why I started playing Mech Arena, because I'm really good at it.
We had joked about having a party topic tonight that was about turning down the difficulty on games, because Chris and I have both done that with the games we're playing. And you were like, "Oh, I have nothing to talk about because I don't turn it down.
I
I
don't.
only play on hard mode like a real gamer."
Well, I just don't mess with the difficulty of anything at all. Like
it's just naturally easy to you, so you just,
Benson calling you out though.
Yay. Well, actually, Benson got to see me in action at NakaCon. It was difficult, though, because it was on a PSVR system, which is different, like, fundamentally on how it, like, detects movements and whatnot. So the first time I played it, and it was on a projector as well, which was another story. So the first time I played it, it went really well. And then the second time I played it, it was like, it kept not registering the controls or whatever.
Mhm.
And so, like, I had to go back, like, I'm really fluid and, like, elegant when I'm playing the game. And, most people just kind of, like, chop at the air or whatever, but, like,
We got
I
two
don't do it
sobs
like
on
that.
screen.
So,
Hell yeah.
But the second time I played it, like, Benson even approached me. He was just like, "What was wrong? You look like a robot out there." And I was like, "It's broken."
My mech is busted. My controller's lagging, okay?
Oh my god. My brother, like, took the controller from me, and that would never work because I'm an only child.
Oh,
So.
man. Well, now you're giving away your secrets.
My cats.
My dad works at Nintendo.
I did have some footage for y'all, but I don't see it.
Well, yeah, give me a second. Hold on, I got distracted.
A couple of my favorite songs
memeing the stream.
Oh no, you're fine. A couple of my favorite songs from just like streaming that I stream on my stream all the time come from Beat Saber, actually. And last night, actually, I was playing the Beat Saber soundtrack while I was playing Splitgate, because it's one of them. It's very hype, and it's DMCA safe. They will not copyright you for that. Not anything from the Beat Saber soundtracks. And most of the stuff by Monster Cat is safe, because Monster Cat actually has a connection, partnership, affiliation, whatever, with High Risk Studios. So DKO streamers have like full-on playlists from Monster Cat that they can use for their stream, that they don't have to worry about being stricken against from, DMCA.
That's really
legit.
nice.
Yeah. And one of the DJs that works underneath Monster Cat's label has a skin in Smite.
Oh, dip.
You could play as this DJ in Smite. I'm like, what? So hopefully I'm trying to get on that. I'm trying to go on that level and get me a skin in DKO, because
that's awesome.
Like, would it have to be an Izanami though?
Yeah, it has to be, of course. Okay. I've already joked in the Discord. I was like, wow, what if Izanami had like a purple dress and her head crest was like gold with like red and green flowers? Wow, wouldn't that be interesting?
Wow.
I think it's very doable.
I wonder what around here that's on my person has red and green on it that could possibly mimic that. For the listeners out there just listening, I'm holding up my crown. So.
Royalty.
But Beat Saber, as you can see, I have my signature colors. I set it to that, purple and green. Because you can customize everything in that. You can customize left-handedness. You can customize if you want the arrows or not. You can customize difficulty. You can customize whether or not you want to use one sword or two. If you want to do it head on or just there's like 360 modes and everything like that. There's multiplayer now, which is super cool. That's new, like newer.
Yeah, what does
As of
that
now, I
even
think
mean?
it's like a couple years out. So it's basically like arcade. You play the mode as normal. It's not like attack or anything. So you don't send garbage to people to obstruct them or anything. You just compete to see who gets the highest score, and you're all simultaneously playing in this lobby. And it's actually really cool visually because you see all these people's avatars. You see your own path ahead of you. And say there's 5 people in there, so it's arranged like a pentagon. So you'll see 2 people at either corner in front of you, and then to your side you'll have 2 people as well. And you could see how they're doing while you're playing, and it's kind of nuts.
That's crazy.
But
I would love to see a whole
That's
room
very
full
cool.
of people try to do that.
Yeah.
I'm so sad because now I don't think I'll have enough room in the new apartment to play it
No.
in my room. We'll see, because I wanted to get some Beat Saber streams or some kind of virtual reality stream going.
I imagine you stumbling out of your stream room and you're like, "This space is mine now." You just set up all your stuff. You're like, "Sorry, we're beaten." You know, we're sword
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
out here.
It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun game. In this video, actually, I get I don't miss a single note. I get a full combo and a high score. So
That's pretty dope. I'm gonna
yeah,
switch over to the other one real quick, actually.
yeah. So
Skirt.
the other one that I have listed on here is In the Groove 1 and 3. Specifically those 2 because I don't like any of the songs from In the Groove 2. I love me some In the Groove. And this game I'm actually playing right now on screen is, I think, Stepmania. This is actually footage taken from NakaCon. And you can see me there cosplaying as Nest, which Vilos is excited about in chat. And I saw this Pikachu suit player, and I was like, I need to dance with you. Can we dance together? And she was like, yeah, let's dance. And I was like, we're having a Pokemon battle right now. And this was it, the Pokemon dance battle.
I love that.
But
I love that the Pikachu is like, I'm trying. Like you see the foot come down a couple times in the same spot, like, maybe
It's
got
like
it.
I got this tail back here for
Well,
stability.
it's so hard to tell. Like she was talking about her visual, her field of vision in that suit. I mean, it's a giant inflatable suit with a big window, kind of like the T-Rex thing. But at the same time, your peripheral vision can't pick up where your feet are supposed to be going with the arrows and everything. It's really hard to track. So, yeah, this is Stepmania, I believe. But In the Groove 1 and 3, those are the rarest arcade machines to find in this area. Because as you know, I work at an arcade sometimes, and everyone's been asking, "Are you guys going to get a dance machine? Are you guys going to get a dance machine?" I've been looking for In the Groove machines ever since I started working there, and it's been 2.5 years now, I think.
Lol.
And people are like, "Well, why don't you get the Pump It Up, which is the diagonal arrow dancing game?" I think that's Korean based, it's out of Korea. And then DDR is Japanese based, and I think In the Groove is also Japanese based, but it could be American. I'm not sure. But who likes diagonal arrows? I know Benson does. I think Pump It Up is one of Benson's favorite machines. But orthogonal. If we want to get all of the super duper professional arcade dancers in the arcade, yeah, we'll get a Pump It Up. But we're trying to keep it casual for the whole family.
Keep it cash.
And also, I'm bad at the diagonal one, so we're not getting it.
And also,
that's true, Benson. Benson says in chat, we have enough Pump It Up machines around. I think the only In the Groove machine in the entire KC Metro area that I know of is it is at an arcade across state line. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to dox anybody here.
Wait.
It is.
Wait, who you were trying not to dox? The store? They would love it if you told everybody where they were. Or the arcade?
Yeah.
Everyone who's listening to us is pretty local. So Broadway Arcade, yeah.
All right. Well,
Broadway Arcade.
people listen in Seattle like me, just that means nothing to you and you're not welcome here. So quit asking. No, I'm just kidding. Well, let me jump to mine real quick, actually, because I just very swiftly downloaded the trailer. If that's all right, Sav.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Before you do, I just wanted to honorably mention Metal Hellsinger. I love that game. It's so good.
It's pretty dope.
And the other games turn me up. It gets me hyped up. They turn me up. And Metal Hellsinger turns me on. All right.
Oh,
that game is so good. Play it.
That game's baller. I like watching. Well, so we had Vilos play that on stream. when it first came out. I think the very first week that it came out. And then Sav, you've played it. You've at least played it. I can't remember if you streamed it or not. And then I've also watched Shani really go for Shani Pack go for high scores in Discord, which has been great because sometimes when we're in a big group but we're not all playing the same game, he'll stream it in there, and he won't really talk much because he's focusing on the game, and you get in a rhythm, you get in the zone, and so it's just this great metal soundtrack for hanging out in Discord.
So good.
And it's dope. It's great to watch because you got, he's building up a multiplier. You got all these different weapons because you're shooting the weapons and jumping on rhythm as, the like bar in the middle of the screen hits in the middle. It's really good stuff. It's got cool voice acting, a bunch of licensed music. It's really good stuff. So yeah, that's like it's a real good one. That one's on Game Pass. Take that one to the bank, among other things. But then let's see. I actually can't see. Is Chris back right now? I assume I'll hear him.
Yes.
Okay, then let me get him on screen, so I'm not just memeing him right here. There we go. What's up, Chris? Hello.
Oh, well, right as we were coming back inside, I took Ava off the leash and she decided to bolt, which is nice because we have a very busy street right in front of our house.
That's good.
So that was a fun adventure we just had.
Well,
she didn't run into the street, but she made me think she was going to.
I mean, it's almost impossible not to.
I know.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad everything's okay. She just made you sweat a little bit, but dogs.
I also have activity-induced asthma, so
that's good. That's what you want.
This is the best to like chase a Siberian husky.
Well,
because they're not fast.
No, and they hate the cold, and you do really well in the cold with exercise-induced asthma. I can speak from experience.
Correct.
So
luckily,
it's really
I keep that thing on me.
Yeah.
Well,
let's see. I'll play the trailer here for Sayonara Wild Hearts. This was a game that came out 2 or 3 years ago. That is Vilos is not convinced. It came out not so long ago. I mean, I think it was 2020.
No, dude. That came out when I was still doing my podcast because Cam was talking about it a bunch.
Then 2019?
Okay, I guess it's 2019. Yeah, late 2019.
Okay, see, that's not so unreasonable.
Win for Tegan.
Yeah, win for me, the person who can't spell the name of the game right. Sayonara Wild Hearts is a wonderful game where you play to this wonderful upbeat soundtrack to these really nice visuals here of a character who, it's a rhythm game, but it's basically you cruising around this beautiful, sound, audio visual landscape. Yeah, check this out. So it's your character in a very unique level. Every level is very different, both visually, sound-wise, and mechanically, as you use a bunch of button presses to timed in certain ways, and you've got this level that usually has a bunch of space for you to move in, and you want to try to move yourself on the right track. And part of doing that is the things you're picking up, the small and big pickups, like those hearts you see. They all hit on beat as the music is going, so it's not just cool and to a rhythm; it's to the rhythm of the song you're doing, and every little thing that you pick up gives you an audio reward for what you're doing. There's not much punishment. You can definitely fail levels. I remember there's one, it's the 4th level or something. I failed a bunch of times before I got it right. But they're all really cool. And I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, I picked this up. I was sitting on my couch. I'm almost entirely PC gaming these days. But occasionally I'm sitting on the couch and I'll have 20 minutes to play something. And I'm like, well, what do I play? Well, I booted this back up, and I played the first couple levels again. And man, this game really is a treat. Highly, highly recommend it. You don't have to have any rhythm. I do want to make that clear. Some people, when you recommend a rhythm game, they're like, but what if I don't have rhythm? Doesn't matter. This game wants you to succeed, and I think there might be a mode where you can't fail. I can't remember if that's true, but this game wants you to have fun. Some rhythm games want to be challenging or offer a specific type of mastery that they want you to achieve. This game just wants you to feel good, plain and simple. It's really good. and it was recommended, like Chris said, through Cam Koenig, who was playing it. He was the first person I knew to play it back in late 2019. Don't forget that. We all knew that. There was no dispute. And it's a real good one. I think it sets a real standard for what a rhythm game can be, outside of just like lining up a song and being like, okay, we're focusing on the song, which is what I imagine like DDR is to me. Where it's like you pick a song, you load it up, you press the buttons at the right time. That's a rhythm game. But Sayonara Wild Hearts was the first one that I played where I was like, this feels like, yes, this is a game that has music intrinsically tied to the mechanics, but it just didn't fit into the genre in a way that I had made room for in my head. So essentially this expanded the genre. I think Metal Hellsinger, like you mentioned, also expanded the genre. I think it's great. People love music, people love games. This is a great way to experience both of those without a high barrier to entry. So they're
Like,
pretty
it's
cool.
funny that it's called like Wild Hearts because like it's a game that has like a lot of personality, like a lot of soul to it too. So it's like heart and soul. And
And it's
that is
got the Queen of
punctuated
Soul, Queen Latifah, in there.
exactly. I was about to say like it
Oh my
has the
gosh, I'm
Queen
so
of
sorry
Spades
for
at the beat.
interrupting you just so I could.
It's
Oh
too
my god.
late. It's too late, Tegan. The signature
You
Tegan
did it.
Why am I
alley-oop.
like
You
this?
did it.
Why am I like this?
But I'm glad
Oh.
that we all know that though. Like even chat was talking about it. Ed in chat had mentioned that as well. But like literally punctuated by the fact that Queen Latifah is in there narrating the game with her soulful singing voice, and I love listening to her voice.
Me too.
She's like that lunch lady at school that's just like, "Come here, baby. Let me get you your spinach
I keep
lumps,"
hearing
or
on the radio, I keep hearing old Queen Latifah songs that I've never heard before, or just things that she sampled on, and I'm just like, man, this is great. Like it's new to me, so it feels new. Yeah, she's talented, has a wonderful voice.
I'm actually really surprised that none of us had mentioned. What was that one that Chris demoed? The rhythm game. It was like really
Melatonin.
melatonin. Thank you.
I forgot about
That
that one.
was really, really, really nice. I love the music in that one. I actually
Mhm.
watched a creator called Gab Smolders, who is normally known for her like indie horror walkthroughs, playthroughs, and everything. She was playing this game, and so I got to see like the rest of the levels that Chris didn't get to, and like it gets really intense. Like there are different time signatures. You got to start using shoulder buttons, and like it's crazy, but it's really cool. And like the pastel aesthetic of it is very relaxing. So that's another game I would recommend too. Is Melatonin.
Melatonin. Well, hell yeah. Well, that's a whole lineup of a bunch of different types of rhythm games. Well, then, without any further ado, let's wrap this up so we can go watch Yusov play Hi-Fi Rush. So Hi-Fi Rush.
Yay!
I meant to give us a trailer here. I'll play it as we outro. But Hi-Fi Rush was announced at the Bethesda Microsoft showcase yesterday, which had a bunch of fun stuff. It had Minecraft, not Legends, but Minecraft Dungeons, maybe? It looked like almost
No, Legends.
I think it was
Legends.
You were right.
Golf Legends. Um, it almost looked like a real-time strategy, sort of. Please don't roast me in the comments on this. It kind of looked like a real-time strategy game of Minecraft where you are base building up an army with units, and then you go and attack the enemy base, essentially. Which is how I would describe an RTS, even though this is like a whole different aesthetic. It's not isometric like Age of Empires would be, or even like Civilization. Civilization? No, that you're looking at like a board, but I'm getting wrapped up in the details. That game looked cool. There was some cool Elder Scrolls Online stuff. Even if you don't play that game, you should go watch that reveal because their like directs for that game are still really fun. If you like anything Elder Scrolls, if you've ever liked Skyrim, those are fun to watch, even if you're not going to play the game. But then the crowning game announcement of the day was Hi-Fi Rush, a rhythm beat 'em up game. It actually reminded me, Sav, it reminded me of Splatoon in some of the like the way that the camera was like you'd go up and then it would follow behind the back downwards as the character like did a punch or a kick or something, the way that Splatoon will, especially as you dive into the ink.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
People
so
have been liking it a lot too. Not only Sunset Overdrive, but like Jet Set Radio and things like that. I'm really excited to dive into it myself. I really love the art style, like the kind of Beautiful Joe looking cell shaded affair.
yep. Well, I'm gonna try to get this video. Let's see. Can I do this? No, I can't. All right, we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Actually, you know what? I'll play this in a minute so we can wrap the show up professionally. Quick, Vilos, edit this out later. We'll fix it in post. Look, I got a stream marker for you because that's how we do it. Actually, we've had a great job. I want to shout out the mods. This will still probably get edited out. Shout out to the mods in Odysseus 2, especially with like Spiderheck last week, creating some markers, which made it so much easier to go back and find those fun clips that I showed before, and I am still going to show you after the stream. We really appreciate that because that is a wonderful way to help support the stream just while you're watching. Anyway, I'm going to get this game up on here, but we're going to get the Hi-Fi Rush, so thank you, everybody, for joining us for the podcast segment of the show. We have all of our socials and all the stuff. We've been doing a pretty good job, I think, of making some fun clips. We're practicing our hands, Chris and I, at editing a little bit. So if you want to follow our socials, we've got some fun YouTube shorts and TikToks of what we've been playing. You can find it on our website. Our website is partyinvite.games. It's also got Vilos's blogs and JRPG journey on it.
And maybe soon everybody else's website.
I didn't forget. I am a good team member, and I wouldn't forget something like that.
How could you?
We're going to be waiting for like official posts on there just before announcing that, but we're starting our own blogs on there too, guys. So there we go. You heard it here first.
Some of us are a little slower to get through it than others, but yes, you can expect those soon on our website, which is really exciting. I've been loving pouring more energy into the clip editing and seeing what Vilos is doing with the website, and it's all good stuff. So go check out that website, partyinvite.games. Like I said, you can find all our socials on there. And if you really want to support us without spending any money, we would love it if you would go subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would really go a long way to helping us reach a new audience, new people, making our healthy community a little bit better. Lots of good people in here. So anyway, let's wrap up the show. I've been Tegan. That's been Chris. That's been Sav. And that's Vilos. Catch you again for the podcast next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
Later.